Can you come to the night, Matt?
Alrighty, everyone. Hello. Welcome back to Coach's Corner. What's up?
All right. The intro and outros get better and better as we go. That's what we pay her for. So who's going first? Marina, how many questions do you got since you got to get out of here early?
I have a bunch of like this or that's like we had last week
Oh,
with Katie. So
why don't you warm us up with those?
Yeah, we'll just go through those.
Tickle everybody's butthole with some of those.
Okay. Where do I start? Let's start at the bottom. Okay. Coffee, energy drink, or pre-workout?
Either. No.
Coffee, easy.
Coffee.
Definitely.
No.
Wow. Morning person or night owl? Morning.
Morning.
Even though this morning we'll go with like
Morning.
10, so. During cardio, TV show, podcast, or music?
Wait, what was that?
Wait, say it again.
During cardio, TV show, podcast, or music?
Music.
Ooh,
TV show.
I'm either podcast or TV show, but
I'm
it depends.
TV show.
Music.
If I'm doing like steady state cardio, I'm doing a podcast. If I'm doing anything that's like, if I'm really like getting after it and I want to like, prep cardio or whatever, I got to do a TV show just to take my mind out of it. You know what I mean?
I do a
Just go.
TV show like always.
The TV show for me is like background noise more than anything else.
See, I want to be able to like immerse myself in something or like a long YouTube video, something silly. Crunchy peanut butter or smooth?
Oh, smooth. Come on. Who the fuck are we kidding?
Smooth. I can't.
Nah,
Well,
Yeah,
for me,
crunchy since I was like, I was trying to think the last time we even had crunchy peanut butter. That's like,
I've never had
When you're-
crunchy
when you're a
nut
kid.
butter. Strictly.
You know what's really
What?
bad? Have you guys ever had crunchy almond butter?
Yes.
Fucking awful, right?
I haven't.
Like the little piece of almonds in there, like little
Not good.
stones. It's fucking disgusting.
It is disgusting.
I
Tastes
haven't.
like the fucking toothpaste they put in your mouth at the fucking dentist. Like the
Yeah, it's
texture.
Ew.
Yeah, like little cement shit. Yeah.
Cement. Strictly online training or in-person training?
Online.
depends how much you're paying.
Wait,
Yes.
how does that work? Like, which one would we rather?
Yeah.
I'd rather do in-person training. If I could make as much as I do online coaching, I would do it that way for sure.
I'm online.
Yeah, online.
My
in-person
social
training.
battery can't do it.
No.
Vacation or staycation?
The fuck is a staycation?
Stay home. Don't work.
Yeah. Or go somewhere like close. That's what I would still consider a staycation.
I'll take either then, actually.
Yeah, honestly, either.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I don't know.
I think I'm going vacation. I'm going vacation.
I don't know. I guess it kind of depends for me. That one's tough. I'd probably
Yeah.
Vacation. Probably
Maybe you can put me
vacation.
and Matt in your suitcase.
I'm literally home 24/7. Like I
That's true.
don't go
When-
anywhere
when-
at
when
all.
are- when
So
are we
I'll
gonna
go
let the,
vacation. My whole life is staycation.
When are we
When
gonna
you
let
say
the people? Go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
No, like Marina said, it's like you could stay local. Like I think about me and Sam did Montauk here on Long Island, which is like a couple hours from where we live, and it was like the best trip ever because it was so stress free. We drove
Yeah.
and we were on vacation. We didn't have to like worry about
See,
renting a
I
car.
would consider that a
Yeah,
staycation.
we live in New Jersey, Matt. We live in New Jersey.
We got the
We
shore
could
though,
we
right?
could do so much in Jersey. What are you talking about?
90%
I've
of the time.
never been. I don't know.
Oh, you don't want it, Matt. Don't.
Yeah, Jersey Shore is a straight up hellhole.
It is gross,
Why-
but we
why
do
would
have
I
a
live
lot
on
that
an
we can
island?
do here. We have little like.
You're way
Have you
better
guys-
just staying there than this fucking shore.
Have you heard
over
of
here.
Smithville?
Yeah, Smithville.
There's little places you can go.
Yeah.
Text or phone call?
Phone call.
Text.
Phone call. Phone call.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
What?
Online shopping or in-person shopping?
Online.
I think it depends. It depends.
Online.
Clothes in person.
I hate buying clothes online because nothing fits
Nothing
me. Like,
fits.
literally, like I'm too small. I'm fucking too short. I'm fucking not long enough. I don't know what the fuck the deal is with clothes nowadays, but nothing seems to fit consistently at all in any way, shape, or form. In one pair of pants, I'm a double XL. In the other pair of pants, I'm a fucking large, and it makes no fucking sense whatsoever anymore. Seriously.
Yeah,
that's
clothes
why I
has to
just
be
don't-
in person.
That's why I don't wear pants. I don't own a single I don't own sweatpants at all.
Wait, do you actually not wear it? Actually, yeah, you
No,
do
have
always
you ever seen it in
say-
pants? I've never seen
Yeah,
it in
yeah,
pants
it's
before.
I
true.
wear
Right.
shorts. I wear shorts in the snow.
That's
I wear shorts in the rain.
crazy.
I wear shorts to train all year. Matt knows I don't have sweatpants at all.
He
I
wore
have-
shorts to his
That's
wedding.
the typical. That's a typical Jersey thing. That's a typical Jersey thing.
Is
I don't
it?
know.
You're
I
like the
don't-
Jersey meme. We can make a meme out of you. Like it's snowing and all you have on is a hoodie
That's
and a
me.
fucking pair of like fucking mesh
Yeah.
fucking pants.
I
Shorts.
hate pants.
Yeah, like basketball
I hate,
shorts.
I hate them.
Weird.
Obviously, you guys know I had to go to a funeral. Unfortunately, I'm not trying to be morbid or like bring it
Yeah,
down.
I'm
It was
sorry.
actually Christine's grandfather's.
Okay.
I appreciate it, but it was Christine's grandfather. He was 99 years old, so it was one of those
Ooh,
moments where
God
it's like
bless
it
him.
was nice to
Damn.
memorialize him. It was nice to remember him, but he did live a very full life and got to see a lot in his life. So we're appreciative of. But the bottom line is, it was they were like, oh, we got to do the viewing. I'm like, dude, I don't have a button-up shirt. Like I don't own one. Like I don't have like the closest thing I have to a button-up shirt is Team ECC branded flannel that I have. And like that's it. That's all I got. Like I had to go to Old Navy like literally last minute yesterday to buy one button-up shirt, and I just wore the same thing 2 days in a row.
They have the fattest people sizes ever. If I
At
go to
Old
Old
Navy.
Navy,
Old Navy,
yeah,
right?
dude. So like anywhere I go,
Yeah, it's-
2X, Old Navy, I'm like swimming in an extra large, and the necks are like fucking this big.
I'm usually double XL in just about everything. This is a double XL shirt underneath the double XL. At Old Navy, I had to get. I bought the double XL. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, I can't even put a jacket over this. It's gonna be hanging out of everything. I had to go back and get the extra large.
Yeah, they have
That's
Peter
crazy.
Griffin sizes for sure.
Peter.
Peter Griffin. Wait, Matt, did you answer online or in person?
In person.
In person, yeah. Breakfast. Oh, this one, yeah. Breakfast for dinner or dinner for breakfast.
Breakfast
I
for
want
dinner
breakfast.
all the
I
time.
want breakfast every meal.
Yes.
Yeah, breakfast is the
breakfast
best
for
meal.
dinner.
Breakfast for dinner. Dine in or delivery. Dine in.
Wait. Matt's in Long Island, right? Matt, do you guys have pork roll? You're familiar with pork roll.
Oh, dude, this is like a huge controversy at work. We don't officially. We do not have that on Long Island.
You don't
You
have
said you
pork
don't have
roll?
it?
We do not.
Yeah.
No.
Me and him had
We gotta get you some
so
pork
many
roll
conversations about Philly cheesesteaks.
Yeah, we don't have cheesesteaks on Long Island either.
Next time he comes down here, I'm taking him to get one. Like
What, do you just eat pizza all day?
That's
I'm-
pretty
I'm
much what we got. Yeah.
I'm telling you, Matt, you gotta forget the cheesesteak. Fuck cheesesteaks. Go pork roll, egg, and
What-
cheese all day, baby.
bro.
What exactly is it again? I don't remember. But then we had this whole like boom.
It's like a
I honestly
breakfast
don't know, and
ham.
I don't care.
It's disgusting.
It's
It's
not like
gross.
ham. I fucking hate ham. I think ham is foul. I think ham's disgusting. The only thing I'm eating that's pork is bacon and
Ugh.
pork roll. It's kind of like it's like a circular bacon.
It's like
I would say
Canadian
closer to
bacon.
than it is to ham.
Yeah, it's like
Almost up on
Canadian
my
bacon,
computer.
but it's more bacony.
Jersey pork roll.
It's really good. It'll make your ankles swell up.
Disgusting. I don't eat pork.
I don't eat pork either. Pork roll is different though.
So wait, when are we gonna let the people know about the award of the year, the wanker of the year, and when they can vote?
Wanker of the year.
We gotta figure out how we're gonna do voting.
Can you imagine? Yeah, I think we should. Marina
We
said
can
the lead.
totally do a vote. Can you do a vote, guys? Like on here, like straight
No,
on
we're
here?
gonna put it on our story. It's gonna be wanker of the year, and we'll have 4 choices. Riley's in the lead now.
Bacon over pork roll all day. I mean, if
Yeah,
I had
pork
to
roll
choose
over
one
here,
or the
sure.
other, I'm
That's a
choosing
lot.
bacon.
When
Like
oh,
I can
that's-
eat bacon straight. Like pork roll, I can't eat. It
I
has to
can
be
eat
in a
bacon straight
sandwich.
too. I'm only gonna eat pork roll on a sandwich. But if I had to choose between a pork roll, egg, and cheese or a bacon, egg, and cheese, I'm taking pork roll all day over and over.
Yeah, same.
Omar's
All
not
right.
good with the
Bacon.
turkey
There we go.
bacon.
Did
you
we
goddamn it.
say
Turkey
dine in
bacon's
or
gross. He's doing
delivery?
it because of his religion. What?
Did we
Pizza.
say dine in or delivery? Did we do that one yet?
Dine in.
No,
Dine in.
di-
Dine in.
Dine in for wait, no, delivery.
delivery.
Yeah,
Dine in
you're
is better
delivery,
food.
Tim. What are you talking about?
Yeah, dine in is definitely better food, but I don't want to go out somewhere and eat in front of people. Like I want to eat in front of my TV and probably pass out with sauce on my shirt. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Just
It
the
is
way I
more
like to see you,
comfy.
Tim.
But I like sometimes the ambiance is nice.
Fuck. ambiance. We'll fucking turn off the light in the living room. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
ambiance?
that's a female answer.
I don't know. It's nice
Yeah.
to like, do your
I just like
hair.
going on dates. I
That's
love
why you're
going out
not
with
big,
Sam.
Riley, because you eat too much bacon, egg, and cheese.
What the hell
And
were
not
they
enough
talking
buffalo egg and
about?
cheese.
What is
All right.
Riley again?
Those were all my quick ones, and I have one actual one.
What's the
All
actual
right, what's your
one?
one actual one?
Oh, okay. How do you manage drinking? How do you manage drinking a gallon if you're not able to bring a jug with you everywhere? I haven't brought a jug with me anywhere in God knows how long. I just
Bring a
fill
small
up your
water
water bottle a billion times.
Yeah, who asked this question? You can't figure out how to drink a gallon of water today. Come on.
Allie.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't have to actually give her up,
I
but
usually
like,
tell
come on,
people-
Allie.
No, yeah,
I
you don't
usually
have to
tell
carry
people
around a jug.
No, I usually
Milk
tell people
lover.
get a liter bottle and refill that shit. Like a liter bottle is,
There he is.
because I usually tell people in liters.
He's
Like
here.
have 3 liters, have 4 liters, have 5 liters. You know what I mean? That way
That's
it's
what I
easier to
do.
keep track than refilling a stupid fucking like 16-ounce Poland. Because people will hit me up. They're like, "Yeah, I drank 6 Poland Springs bottle." I'm like, what do I look like? A fucking mathematician? I don't know what the fuck that is. How many
Actually,
liters did you drink?
two Poland Springs is exactly 1 liter. I know that.
Oh, I know, but I'm just come on.
But now you know.
I'm not doing that math for anybody. All right.
That's easy.
So where does MILF Lover
3 liters.
What's crackle? Where does MILF Lover stand in Wanker of the Year?
Who's viewer of the year?
Viewer of the
Yeah,
year.
honestly, I think
He's
he
the
deserves a lot more
MVP.
respect than that.
He sent me a heart today. He sent me a heart.
There you go. I feel left out.
MILF Lover, you got to send Tim a heart next week.
All right, who's next? Who's got questions?
Who wants to go? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay. What's your favorite and least favorite brand of equipment?
Ooh, if you can only pick one.
You can toss it up. There's no rules here.
I think Arsenal is the worst.
I hate Arsenal.
Really? They
Yeah, I'm
got a
not a big
couple of
Arsenal
nice
guy either.
Yeah, but I think
They
are we
do have a
talking
couple
like
nice pieces.
overall, dude.
pieces.
Yeah, overall.
All right,
Yeah,
so I would say
overall.
probably Nautilus
I was gonna say
is
Nautilus.
probably number
I
one.
like
Best.
Prime. Am
Yeah.
I a bitch for saying that I like Prime?
Yeah, you're new gen.
I am a
Yeah, you're
little.
young. You're showing your age.
Yeah, you really are. I like Nautilus, and my favorite, I'd say, and
Panada?
Arsenal
I do
is
not
the
like
worst.
Panada.
Me neither. I don't like
And
that
what
at all.
was the last one, Steve?
Arsenal's the worst. It's the
There's
worst shit
far
ever.
worse
Oh.
brands than Arsenal. There's far worse than Arsenal.
Yeah,
There's
but I'm
definitely
ta-
worse.
yeah, but I'm
I
talking
don't
Overall,
think
about
like
yeah.
Arsenal either.
Well,
Overall,
no.
yeah. Dude, so there are brands that don't have one good piece, like Hoist, like
Yeah, that's true. That's
Matrix.
true. Oh, okay,
Matrix.
All right,
Matrix
I
is
thought we were
fucking
talking.
awful.
I thought we were talking
Matrix
just
is
like
the
the
worst.
big Cybex, Arsenal,
brand.
Hammer. All
I
right,
mean,
so
we're
then,
not
Any
talking
brand.
about like Titan, the shit you build in your house, you know. I mean,
so what's
you
the
know.
stuff in
I-
the Edge Fitnesses? The stuff that moves
no
when
idea.
you fucking move.
That's Hoist.
That's the
Yeah,
Hoist.
that stuff is
It's
ass.
garbage.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, it's awful.
Horrible.
It's awful. That's what I have.
See,
at the LA Fitness
Riley's
Center.
favorite is Arsenal because although I will say Arsenal has some trash.
No, he
pieces,
said least
they
favorite.
also really. I thought he said it was his favorite.
No, he said
No,
least is
least is-
Arsenal
Oh,
and
oh.
Hoist.
But Arsenal does have some trash pieces, but they do have some really good pieces too.
The ones I've used, the only ones I've used a bunch, but like their fly machine was good, but the pressing machines and the back
Yeah.
machines sucked.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
pressing
pressing
machine
machines are so bad.
diverges, which is like the weirdest thing. It's like I don't even like. You'd have to explain to me why they make a pressing piece that
That- yeah,
diverges as
yeah.
opposed to converge. It makes no
You're-
sense
I'm
whatsoever.
talking about the vertical chest brace, right?
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
yeah, I think it's so dumb
Yeah.
shit.
And the shoulder
But
one
I
too,
like- I
dude.
think- If
Never
I
used
had
it.
to narrow it down,
Oh,
I
no,
can't
I
pick
have.
one. I'd pick 3. I would go Cybex, I think is really like still like I know that's an old school one that a lot of people like, but I think it's underrated as far
Top-notch.
as some of the new stuff. Like the Cybex Eagle stuff is really good. So Cybex, Nautilus, and I think if I could honestly build a gym out of those 2 alone,
Oh,
but
yeah.
then I really do like a lot of the Prime stuff too,
Yeah.
based on the way that you could change the loading. Prime or the old school Strive, which
Yep.
is what Prime used to be. So those 3 I think are the best in my opinion. And I like Atlantis too. I just think Atlantis is one of those ones where it's like I don't know if there's any trash pieces for Atlantis that
It's
I can
less
recall off the
seen.
top of my head. What's that?
It's less seen, like not as many gyms have it.
Yeah, you're right.
I think it's pretty popular. Honestly, Atlantis has been around for a long time too. I think they're pretty. I think Atlantis to me is kind of like they're all like at least decent pieces. Like there's nothing there. It's like, oh, this is the best. You know
So
what I mean?
I'll
They're at
say
least
their
like all
incline
decent.
chest press,
Oh, it's
the new one that they
Yeah.
have, not so they like kind of remade.
I
There's
know
like a
which one you're talking
V2 of it, but the one that
Yeah.
converges more, that thing is probably one of the best chest presses ever made.
See, would you take that over a Nautilus press though? I'd rather a
No.
Nautilus
Oh,
press
no.
over that.
that incline Nautilus
Really?
press and that one I have in
No,
the
that's
shed are money.
yeah, no, that's
I love
my
Nautilus
favorite piece
presses.
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say my favorite, if I had to pick one, would definitely be like the whole Nautilus Explode line. Just amazing.
Yep.
Cybex is also up there. And Tim, to your point, not only is it really good, like the core old stuff, but a lot of the new stuff is still really good too, which not a lot of these companies can say that have been around for a while.
Yeah, like the new Nautilus shit sucks.
Yeah, it's really not. It just feels so strange.
Yeah.
Body Masters I really like a lot. A lot of their stuff is so
Yeah, Body Master
stable.
stuff is good too.
All their stuff is so stable. Like you could fucking rack like any of their machines and it's just so smooth. The weight is so consistent. Um, and the thing that I don't like about Prime, so obviously like the whole like manipulation of the strength curve is what makes it really good. But a lot of their plate loaded pieces, when you go heavy on them, they fucking shake.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
that is
do.
true. But I don't have to go that
Especially
heavy.
like the hamstrings stuff, all the hamstring, like the
Their
hamstring,
chest
the ham curl,
presses, dude.
lying ham curl, chest presses. Yeah, the fucking
I don't.
chest supported row.
Yep. Yeah. I
The
don't know
chest, the
how
chest
guys.
supported row. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What I was gonna say is a lot of the presses, like I'll go up on like 4 plates on those and it's shaking like a leaf. And you'll see guys like Jordan Peters put on fucking 8 plates. I don't know how the whole thing doesn't just crumble while he's using it.
Yeah, that's the chest supported row one. It's like you can load that up pretty well. Like I can go whatever 4 or 5 plates on that on one of those pegs, but then it's like trying to get that out of the hole and having somebody lift you. The entire machine moves backwards and like slides all over the floor unless it's bolted in.
Yeah.
It's not good. Okay, next question.
Tim,
All
how
right,
many
who
you
wants to
got?
go now? I got a few. Ideal testosterone to estrogen ratio in a male.
1 billion testosterone and like 50 estrogen.
Yeah, do you want
Yeah.
to say like a normal, like what, a range instead, or like what, a value?
Yeah,
or-
that's what to be honest with you, I was waiting for one of you guys because to be honest with you, I don't know. To be honest, I
Yeah,
like,
the ratio.
and I mean that sincerely. Like, I don't know if should there be a ratio with test and estrogen. The more I thought about this, because at first I thought the same thing you did, Steve, where it's like, probably look at the ranges individually there
Correct,
as opposed to
yeah.
ratio. But then I don't know. Maybe there is a ratio there that we're not like. I'm just not aware of it, and I don't know if maybe there is a good ratio there to
Right.
be able to have a little bit more of a consistency, right? In terms of where we all end up sometimes, which is our testosterone so high, our estrogen is too low in consideration, which is why I think I always looked at my labs and I always thought I felt better with my estrogen being a little bit higher, like Matt said, it like 50, 55, 60, which is above the range for
Right,
the most
right.
part. There, I think 50 is the
Wait,
top
that's
of
above the
if I remember
range?
correctly.
Yeah,
think
usually they're
50's
like
the top
20 to
range.
40 they want. 20 to
Okay, so there you go. If
50.
it's 40, then 50 is above the range. But honestly, I feel best when my estrogen is in that range. My lipids are the best when it's in that range. My libido is the best when it's in that range. So I would look at them individually. But again, there could be a ratio there that I'm unaware of at least. To maybe have a little bit of a better synergy, maybe. I don't know. All I know is I don't want my estrogen too low.
No,
Yeah.
I'd say
When
just
I was
go ahead, man. Sorry.
when I was cruising on what like 190 tests,
Yeah.
and no estrogen blocker, my testosterone was greater than 1500, so it was probably somewhere around 1900.
Yeah.
And my estrogen was like 61, and my blood work was never better. It was like
Yeah.
I was an 18-year-old boy who eats an organic diet.
I think the estrogen is an overlooked thing for a lot of people. I don't think they realize like how important the estrogen value is to keeping insulin sensitivity in check, to keeping lipids in check.
Right.
Obviously, we all know it's cardiovascularly protective in different ways too, but specifically when it comes to the lipids, I think that's a big thing that a lot of people miss out on. You tank your estrogen, those lipids are usually going to go to shit with it. But then again, we'll see other things there too, whether it is libido, whether it is mood sometimes, but specifically, I think it has a big impact on the rest of your health markers.
Mine was This was January, and then so last 3 weeks ago, and I got in the last month when I got my blow work back. And this was on 200 sip a week. My test was 2082. And my estradiol, let me see.
His natural test levels, by the way, he wasn't on an ETRT.
49. 49. So and I feel good. Usually I felt like dog shit when my test my estradiol was like 20 to 30, like in the 20s or 30s. I didn't feel like you could physically feel that, at times. I always felt better when it's like between like 40 and 50.
Yeah, there's a
I
reason you
really
feel like
learned to
shit
fuck
on
with my
Letro.
joints.
Oh yeah.
I learned very early on that it fuck with my joints big time having my estrogen too low.
Yeah.
All right, so there's that. Sorry, I was looking for my last set of labs and I can't find it right now. Too many LabCorp emails in here.
Then pulls it up, his estradiol was like 93.
No, I think the last time I got it was like 56, but I also don't think my testosterone was that high. Weightlifting belts to keep your waist small, yay or nay?
Not gonna keep your waist small.
I don't wear a belt no more.
Weightlifting belts? No.
Yeah.
There's a purpose for a weightlifting belt, but it's not to keep your waist small.
Yeah.
Yeah, I for one, I actually do like the idea of something to help control the weight, specifically in the off season. I don't know if a weightlifting belt is enough time to be able to help you control that, but if it does teach you how to brace a little bit better, I think there could be benefits to it in terms of controlling your waist. But again, I don't think it's you wearing it for whatever a 2-hour session is going to be the difference between keeping your waist small or not.
No.
That'd be something where you'd have to. But again, I definitely think for me. And again, I've never been a big guy by any stretch of imagination, but for the amount of food that I had to eat to get to my heaviest weight, the reality is my stomach would be fucking distended for literally like fucking 8, 9, 10 months at a time, to a point where I was like walking around with a little child in my stomach. And having something that helped me control my waist on a more consistent basis, like what are those things that we use? I
Waist
have
trainer?
Waist trainer.
Yeah, waist trainer was literally like a difference maker for me, big time, and being able to just have more control as far as my waist is concerned.
Do you wear a belt, guys, when you train at all?
Only for me, only for top sets on like
Only
hack squats or
sometimes.
something like that.
Matt, you
Yeah.
don't, right?
Yeah.
No, legs, or if I'm doing any type of bent over movement on back, I do, yeah.
I haven't wore a belt. I mean, it's probably been 8 years, 9 years. I freaking hate it.
No, I feel good.
I don't know why. Like I just feel like
we
I
have-
can't breathe as much. Like breathe as well.
We have a question. We have a question in the chat. I'm not too comfortable in them either, Steve. That's why I only wear it on like the top sets. And honestly, it's only for sets like, like I told you, we have that 90-degree hack squat at the gym that I'm at. So it's like, once I get up to like 5 plates on that, I'm rocking, or 4.5 plates, whatever it was my last set there, I'm rocking a belt just because I'll feel it in my back big time.
I don't know
I'm also
if
older than all of you though.
well, that's true, but yeah, I wasn't even going there. You brought your age up. So I've
My
always-
ass is numb right now as we speak.
I always found that my lower back for some reason hurt more, or like got more inflamed. I don't know if it was like the constriction or what. And like I said, it's completely like in my head. But like anytime that I've squatted or deadlifted like heavy back in like years back, and I had a belt on, I felt like my lower back would get inflamed easier, and my performance on the sets dropped because I couldn't control my breathing as well. Like all the heaviest squats and deadlifts I've ever done, I've never worn a belt. Ever.
It's probably just because you were fat and that's why you couldn't control your breathing, and then the anadrol, which is why your back swelled up. I'm like, yeah.
It wasn't on any. Believe it or not, when I pulled 725 for 3 on deadlifts in the shed with our friend Umar, that was like on the least amount of gear I've probably ran.
It was just a gram and a half a test, and
Yeah, me too. Exactly. I was, yeah.
No, I think
That's what I
that
pulled
was
700 to.
that was during COVID. I was just on test.
it's a gram of it.
Grandmother. Yeah, no big deal. So, thoughts on meal prep services like Eat Clean Bro and Factor 75, I think it is, right?
I like
I
them.
don't.
I like to order shit in bulk and not the pre-made meals.
Yes.
I think you got to be careful with some of those services. Like I think Factor 75 is one of those ones where it's designed to be something that is sexy and essentially sellable. They make it so that it's like, oh, this is low carb, it's keto based, it's this, it's that, the third. But then when you look into it, which I have, it's very like low quality food is really what it
Hmm.
comes down to. It's fucking loaded with BS and bullshit ingredients. And honestly, the composition of the meals is essentially that, as far as like the high fat, low carbohydrate, essentially exactly what we would probably all tell a client not to do more times
Yeah.
than not, which is have shitty fats in your diet that make the majority of the caloric percentage up. You know what I mean? So Factor 75 to me is just a complete and total sale gimmick,
I don't
right?
even know what
Whereas
that
something like
is.
Eat Clean Bro,
Yeah, I don't know what that
yeah,
is. I was talking
it's a
about Eat Clean
popular one
Bro.
right now. They have a lot of backing. Remember, I had a real long stint in the meal prep game. So I'm pretty familiar with all that shit. But Factor 75 is backed by
Oh, here we
a
go.
bigger, they have millions upon millions of dollars as far as marketing is concerned right now. So they're all over the place with their marketing. You can get like, whatever, a 75% off coupon on Groupon and shit like that. So they're pretty popular right now. But Eat Clean Bro to me, and obviously I'm biased because I worked for Eat Clean Bro at a time and I'm friends with the owner. But to me, that's one of the ones where it's like, you're getting a higher quality product. And again, you're talking about a company that is still owned and ran by a singular individual, not by a large company, right? They are on a national scale now, but they're a multi-million dollar business. So you're getting a high quality product. It's not produced in some sort of rented kitchen somewhere or some sort of tiny kitchen or somebody's apartment or some bullshit. It's in a huge full facility, right? So you're getting quality product that's treated quality, right? And then on top of that, you can maximize your individual needs with a company like that because you can buy by the pound. You can buy a singular ingredient and buy chicken and potatoes. So then when Marina gives you your plan, right? And she tells you, hey, I want you to have this, this, and this. Now you can be very specific as far as your intake is concerned and not just say, hey, I'm eating a Factor 75 meal or I'm eating an Eat Clean Bro meal because I don't care how good the company is. The reality is I'm not trusting those motherfuckers as far as macronutrients on a label is concerned. I'm not trusting anybody because of the way those meals are mass produced. It's hard, regardless of whether they're mass produced or not, any food that you get that comes in a container that's prepared or processed, right? There's a specific, amount that they're allowed to be off as far as that label is concerned. And it can be upwards, I think, of 30%, if I'm not mistaken, by FDA regulation, that it can be 30% off of what the label claims are. Right. So unless we're eating those single ingredient whole foods that we probably always tell our clients to be consuming more times than not. Right. And again, you can get those in a singular fashion through Eat Clean Bro to make your own meals. I think that that's the smartest way of going about a meal prep service.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know those companies specifically, but I'm sure they're like all the ones out here. Yeah, but I think if you're like just somebody who's not necessarily a bodybuilder or following a bodybuilding S type program or tracking macros, I think it's like a great option versus going to the fucking McDonald's or whatever. So, if you're just trying to be a healthier individual. But I think for like competitive bodybuilders, everything that you said is true, right? Because there is such a huge margin for error, not only with food, but even supplements, right? Tim, you probably remember back in like 2011, there was a huge issue in the supplement industry because this company was going around third party testing all the huge brands like BSN and fucking Muscle Tech, and all of them were like so fucking far off. It was right around the time that
Everybody.
Ronnie Coleman's signature series
They call
came
they
out like
called it
right around
protein
the time.
spiking.
Yeah, they were putting like aminos like in the protein or whatever, right?
Jesus.
Yep.
And Ronnie Coleman's signature series had like just come out a year or two prior, and like his was like within 3% of what was on the label. But anyway, going back to the original point, I think it could be a useful tool as a bodybuilder. Like for example, it's funny, like Justin and I both work at the same company, Justin
Couple
Batterina.
lies.
We have to go to Vegas for a few days here in a couple of weeks for our company kickoff. And guys like us eating so much fucking food, like if we have to go to Vegas for 3 days, it's a 6 hour flight there and back. Like it's a lot of fucking food, and there is risk of food going bad. Like 2 years ago when I went on this trip, I go every year, all of my food went bad. Like Steve, you probably remember that,
Oh, I remember. Man.
right? um, So like what I'm doing is I'm bringing a day's worth of food and I'm bulk buying chicken and rice from a meal prep service while I'm out there, so I don't have to worry about it going out, going to bed, right? So I'm using it as a tool, right? The last thing I'll say about it is I think bodybuilders have become such fucking pussies and eat everything spoon fed to them. So when you see these guys that are out living in Vegas that fucking have their meal preps, they eat it 6 times a day. It's like, bro, just learn how to fucking cook, man. Like it's not that hard. To your point, single ingredients, there's no margin for error, right? I don't know, man. Bodybuilders are just soft these days.
Yeah. And I honestly think from just a perspective of like, if you like long term, think about what you're doing if you're relying on a meal prep company. Like, especially if you're newer into the sport or you're a newer competitor in some way, shape, form, or just newer into the lifestyle. To me, it's like habits are what's going to get you there long term. And if you're consistently relying on somebody else to do the work for you, don't be surprised when the day comes that you're not like, whatever, you're too lazy or you don't have, you're telling yourself you don't have the time or this gets in the way or that gets in the way. It's like establish those good habits early on so that you always have that in the bank.
Yep.
I can't say shit because Sam cooks all my food, so I can't say anything.
Yeah, but you're married. She's not going anywhere. You know what I mean?
I hope not.
Yeah, it's not like a meal prep service here today, gone tomorrow. Well, I guess, yeah, she might take you for all your worth. You never know.
She would. She would.
All right. So
Good
my
question.
next question is when do you consider gas a problem as relates to digestive health?
That's a good one.
See, if it's constant, like if you got a week's
Yeah.
worth of gas, you should probably address it, right? Start start trying to analyze when you eat what is giving you the gas, right? And break it down that way. And going back to the conversation we had whatever, a week or two ago, Sam. Um, get a GI map, right? If you can't figure it out, like get a GI map.
Yeah. Yeah, I would just say obviously, like Matt said, look at what you're consuming. In fact, I know this person, and what I would tell you is this person's diet is immaculate, like immaculate from like a general health perspective. It is amazing when it comes to the amount of quality nutrition they're getting in their diet. It is absolutely amazing, right?
14
But with that
farts a
being
day?
said, when you
So-
have
14
yeah,
a
14
day.
farts a day is what you're saying. But when you have such a high quality diet like that, you're taking in so many veggies, so many starchy carbohydrate or fibrous carbohydrate, I should say, all the fruits, like you're going to end up in a position where your fiber is so high, right? There's going to be a point for everybody where that fiber is to a point where you are going to be gassy on a regular, consistent basis. Doesn't necessarily mean anything is bad, right? But you also do have to give consideration to the reality that's like, hey, if I don't want to be so gassy, maybe I need to bring down that fiber a little bit and look for some less fermentable carbohydrate, or maybe less fibrous carbohydrate in general, or swapping some things out here and there to get more out of your more nutrition out of your food, like fruit, as opposed to fiber that you might be getting out of some of the plant-based stuff like veggies. But then again, I would say when gas is a problem is when it's causing pain, when it's causing, when it's followed by things like, constipation or diarrhea. Gas in isolation, probably not as bad as it would be where, again, we're seeing severe bloating and distension from too much gas, right? Obviously, when we do have too much food sitting in our stomach for long periods of time, it can feed the bacteria. Bacteria gives off gas, and then it can cause that distension in the midsection. So we could end up with some sort of bacterial issue there. But again, if it's gas in isolation, usually something where you'd want to be looking at your diet more so than anything too dramatic. If it's followed up with, again, any type of other issues, pain, cramping, things of this nature that are followed with gas, then that's when I would be a little bit more concerned.
What about cheesesteak farts then?
Cheesesteak farts, I would say, are very normal,
Thank you.
and or diarrhea.
No diarrhea. No diarrhea. Just
Yeah. Farts to follow up, like Blaze said, 14 farts there.
Yeah,
right?
we're gonna
I was
get
just
to
joking,
that,
but,
or
like,
are we just gonna ignore that?
yeah, well, I would just say, honestly, at the end of the day, the one thing that does drive me nuts is every time a female farts, they think something's wrong. Like farting is normal. We all know that, right? Like seriously, like at the end of the day, just because you fart doesn't mean you have some sort of gut issue. You don't have fucking SIBO. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I thought
Sometimes your
girls
fucking
don't. I
farts
thought
stink.
girls.
Like
I
that's
thought
just
girls
the way
don't
it
poop.
goes.
I thought girls.
I don't poop.
Okay.
Yeah,
Didn't
right.
think so.
Marina actually poops more than any human being on the face of the earth. Marina poops more than all of us.
This
Okay.
is true.
Wait, so this says doctors say the average person farts anywhere between 10 and 20 times a day.
There you go. So
There you
dead
go.
on.
She's
15.
right. She's right.
Now she's saying, queef farts, everything's okay.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Oh my
Jeez,
god.
what?
I don't think that'd be considered a
Yeah.
fart.
Oh my
We're
god.
we're gonna get banned from Instagram Live.
Yeah, we're all fucked.
Uh,
Oh my god.
who's next?
All right. I want to follow up on that desperately, but I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on. Mental
Please do,
tips
Tim.
for life.
Please do.
What?
So please do, Tim.
Mental tips for lifestyle. Mental tips for this lifestyle, as in bodybuilding. I'm assuming this person is not my client. Mental tips for this lifestyle as it can get repetitive.
Ah,
Yeah, learn.
Yeah, learn to love
What were you
it.
saying, that?
He
Learn
took
to
the
love
words
it.
out of my mouth.
Like anything in life, learn to love it. If you want to get good at it, learn to love it. Embrace the suck.
Yep.
On the flip side of that, I would say if you don't love it in that way, stop trying to identify as a bodybuilder. Stop trying to
Yes.
be like, why do you have to like you can go to the gym and get in pretty good shape and you don't have to call yourself a bodybuilder. You don't have to live the lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Go to the gym, eat well, and that's not living the lifestyle, it's just being a generally healthy individual that cares about their physique and wants to put some effort into the way they look and how healthy they are. That's fine. Once you start identifying as something, I really do think that a lot of these younger people are in the gym specifically because they're trying to be C-bum or they're trying to be a Matt Norman or they're trying to be something that they aspire to and like that they're legitimately like idolizing. You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, first of all, you might not ever get there, which I don't necessarily want to put that out there because you never know until you try. But like B, if you're getting to a point within that journey where you're disassociating with the process and it's not something that you genuinely enjoy all the time, then you might not be built for this, both mentally, physically, whatever it might be. You know what I'm saying? You might not be built for this. I know the reason I fell in love with this, and part of it was being able to see the result. You know what I mean? And getting obsessed with seeing that result over and over, and then pushing harder and harder and harder to see more results. And like at the end of the day, if that's not motivating you, then maybe you don't belong doing this for that reason. Maybe you need to continue to do it for general health purposes and whatnot, but maybe you don't need to be so invested that you're tying your individual like identity to the concept of this lifestyle or bodybuilding as a whole. You know what I mean? And the only other thing I'll say on that is I also think it's important as a bodybuilder, we talked about plenty of times, to have other things that you look forward to, right? Like if all we did was train, right, all the time, which again, all of us do on a regular, consistent basis, and nobody's saying that we don't. But again, Steve has bowling. Marina does shit with shit otherwise, right? She has a dog and friends, right? Matt has kids and a full-time job. No, I'm just saying, like, seriously, at the end of the day, our entire life might be based, our lifestyle might be based within this concept, but our entire life is not just this concept. You know what I'm saying? Like we have other things that also take up mental space, that also drive our happiness, right? That bring things to our life other than just, I got to go to the gym again. I got to eat this next meal. Yeah. And sometimes we do get inundated with that shit. And it's part of the process. And we know that, right? But again, there's a reason why we keep coming back for it. Which again goes back to the other concept here, which is if you don't like that and it's not something you want resonating 24/7, then don't do it. Period.
Mhm.
Nobody's got to be a bodybuilder. You choose this shit.
Yep. Well
You're so
said.
wise, Tim.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm not wise. I'm just old. Live the wild.
Hey,
I live the
comes hand in hand,
Nail on
right?
the head.
That's it. I'm out. I got no more questions. What do you got, Steve? You rattle them off now. Or who wants to go next?
Yeah, Steve, you go. You haven't said one.
What is the best carb cycling approach?
Best?
Ooh.
Oh,
I don't know. I switch it up all the time. I don't have a specific carb cycling approach. I just calorie cycle,
Yeah,
carb
it's
cycle,
very
whatever the
different.
fuck you want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be different person to person,
Yeah.
like let's just talk about somebody in prep, for example, right? So right now I have 4 people in prep, and almost every single one of them reacts differently to the way I cycle their carbs, right? So it's hard to say that there's one singular approach that works, but what I found is a good place to start to try with somebody is have like a baseline or a low, so whatever your baseline is. It could be a moderate or a low amount of carbs depending on your body and what your goals are, right? How hard you need to push for the outcome you're trying to get to, but then making sure you do have at least one higher carb day. And you might need 2, you might need 3, depending on your metabolism, right? And those might be back to back, those might be spread out throughout the week. It's entirely different throughout, each person and where they're at in their body composition journey, right?
Yeah, I guess I do have pretty consistent ways of going about it in that sense. So it's either I usually do 6 on, 6 low, 1 high, 5 low, 2 high, or training day, non-training days. That's usually the approach I'll take. And then when it comes to prep, I have those people check in multiple times a week, and we'll go based off the look. So their base plan might be one of those 3 concepts. But then if somebody checks in, let's say they have a high day on Saturday, they check in on a Monday and they're flat, they're going to refeed for the next 2 days potentially. You know what I mean? The next 3 days potentially. Then I'll have them check in again, and then we'll look at all the variables and say, okay, maybe we need to refeed again, or go back to your base plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the most important piece, right? Is knowing when you need more food.
I think it depends. Like, let's say, like you said, Tim, too. Like, if it's like somebody, say a competitor, right? Like, if they're the off season and they're gonna be full because food's so fucking high, they might not need a carb cycling approach, right? It depends on again who it is. Like Matt, for example, he stays so fucking lean. You know what I mean? That like,
Yeah.
most of the time it just fucking worked for him. But even though the carbs were so fucking high on his base days, regardless, you know what I mean? Whereas like, say a more somebody who might add body fat easier, et cetera, might just have like the training days and off days. You know what I mean? But then when they're in prep and everything starts cranking, they're going to need to be refed more when that base day, their base days are strictly being used to deplete them the hell out. You know what I mean? And burn fat. So sometimes people need back-to-back days every, fifth or sixth day. Sometimes if somebody's metabolism's cranking so much, especially towards the end, and they're, super lean and, they're burning through food, they might, like you said, Tim, they might need to check in every other day. And, every third, fourth day, they might need to just have that spike. So, some people need a full diet break sometimes where like they need their food to go fucking up by, 30, 40, 50%, double the food sometimes. And, give a week or two break so they can reset the metabolic, rate, things like that. So again, I think it depends, right? Like some people can do 2 days low, a day high, it just depends again, like you guys said. So there's so many different ways to slice that.
Riley, Tim said I gain weight in prep when I smell a carb. Yet if we could stretch him out to 5'9" to make the weight cap for 5'9", he's like fucking, I don't know, 20 weeks out and he's 200 pounds. So he's literally like 4 pounds, 6 pounds over the cap, 6 pounds over the cap.
He pushed pretty good last week with legs. He fucking, that Cybex leg press fucking buried him. I told him it would.
Yeah,
That thing
he's
is
such a good leg press.
That thing is fucked up, that leg press.
It's such a good leg press.
It's the best. I love that thing. But that thing,
Dude, the gym I go to has a leg press that somebody welded it in their basement. Like it's not even a real brand, I don't think.
it's probably
But
awesome.
it feels exactly like the Cybex leg press.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
That's the best shit, dude. Like the standing calf raise I have in the shed, the welded one.
Yeah.
And that thing is just heavy as shit. Yeah, Tim, in COVID, some guy welded me a standing calf raise, and it didn't have like the pads. So I went to the pool shop, and I was like, "Hey, I need like pads." And the guy was like, what are you trying to do in the pool?" I was like, "No, this is for a standing calf raise. I just need it for my shoulders." And the guy was like, he was like, "Well, you probably need this then if you're gonna put a lot of weight on it." And it's like these, like just really like sturdy, fucking hard, like I don't even know. And I just cut them and put them right up the thing. The thing's just, it looks like it was welded in his backyard. Yeah, it works.
You just have pool noodles sticking off this thing.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I imagined. That's exactly what I was
they're cut to length, guys.
What's your biggest weakness and strength in terms of like your body parts?
Weakness,
But
my glutes. Strength, nothing.
Your delts, come on.
Yeah,
Give
but they're
yourself
not
some
my
credit.
strength. They have to
Yeah, I
be
was gonna
bigger.
Do they
Yeah,
do
I'd
you
say-
think they really need to be bigger? Like for
Yeah, are you
recruiting?
kidding me? Yeah.
she's
Yeah,
the
adults are
one,
pretty
remember,
damn
she's
good.
Puerto Rican too. So she holds a lot of fat in her ass in the off season. And then once we whittle it all the way down to nothing,
Sounds like you,
it's
Tim.
almost like sometimes, yeah, I know. Sometimes sometimes I look at you while we're training, like wherever we might be trying, I'm looking, and I'm like, how the fuck did your ass go from that to that? And it's like, it literally like her
I
ass
know.
got HIV.
HIV.
What the fuck?
What the?
Her ass got leukemia and just completely
There
totally
you go.
like
That's
shriveled
better.
into nothing.
My ass is bad.
Where-
It's not.
if we
Better,
were
Well, we
if
were talking about our
getting
delts,
kicked-
but
if we weren't getting kicked off for the queefing, we're definitely getting
Yeah.
kicked off now. We're,
We're
like, we're gone. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
No, but my delts, they're okay, but they have to be bigger. Yeah. They have to be capped, essentially. They're not capped.
I'll have to go look again.
But
Because
as
last I
far as-
remember, I thought your delts were like pretty fucking
It's
capped.
nothing synthol.
Yeah, as far as
fucking
your
hurt
best
or
body
fix.
parts, though, that's your quads, oddly enough, are a good body part, and your delts.
My
As far as
quads.
your best body parts.
My quads.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
absolutely hilarious.
Your quads come in before anything else in your. Honestly,
I
your
don't
quads come in
have
before anything else on the
quads.
rest of your fucking body.
I don't have
What?
quads. What are you talking about?
I will send you a picture right now of you having full fucking
Mostly.
separation in the
Yeah.
front of your legs, where
Yeah,
you're
but
fucking.
that doesn't
it
make
looks-
them good. They're not
Marina,
like dense.
Your best body part. Your best
Yeah, but they're not
body
like
part.
dense and like
All right, whatever.
don't
She's
have
never gonna.
oomph.
She's never gonna let that happen.
no.
My weakest body
definitely
part
not
is
the
by
quads.
far my calves. We're done with you. We're
Yeah,
done with
yeah,
you.
no,
Go
we're
sit
done,
in
we're
the
done.
corner with your leukemia.
Calves don't count. Calves don't
my
count.
worst
They're not
body-
even judged.
No, my calves are horrendous though. They're like
Actually,
fucking-
yeah, my calves are
have HIV.
horrendous.
The
Yeah,
calves
your
have
calves are pretty
HIV.
bad too, actually.
They're really bad.
If not my calves, then my back for sure. I've been working on my back for literally years now, so my back is pretty bad too. And then if my only good body part is my chest. And even that, unfortunately, years of drug abuse, gyno, not willing to get surgery. So even my best body part's not that great. Depends on what time of day it is. You know what I mean? Like right now, they're feeling kind of perky. I'm pretty good. If you
Wait,
play
does
with the
it
nipple and get it
change?
hard, they what?
Does it change? Like, do they get
Depends how much
more?
Nolvadex he's taking in Caber.
Yeah, no, it definitely changes. Like honestly, when you get a pump, it's a lot less noticeable, the gyno, than if you're just sitting there. It looks like I have dad titties. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Sometimes. Like,
Me and Matt
sloping down
have
a little
dad
bit,
titties
down a
too.
little bit.
We have dad
Yeah.
titties too.
Oh God.
I would probably say my legs strongest, and my weakest would probably be like my mid back and my lats, because my rectors are pretty thick from abusing deadlifts. So I'd say.
Sounds like a common trend here because my back is my weakest body part, not including my calves. And my quads and hamstrings are my best body part.
Yeah, we got good legs, buddy.
Yeah, your quads are pretty crazy.
All right, next question.
8 apple cider vinegar straight shot or in a concoction, and before or after fasted cardio.
Straight prior to meals. Forget about first thing in the morning.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So, yeah, before, and then if they're taking it, would you, and then just eliminate it before the fasted cardio. So,
Yeah, all you're doing is like you're gonna drive up gastric acid to go do cardio for what?
feel like that would
before
hurt.
meal 1,
Kind of missing the point.
do it before your
Yeah.
meal.
I do
Before
it in
meal
a
one or maybe before
concoction.
the last meal.
I think a concoction is not bad. Some people like can't do the shot.
No, it's really not bad because, like, I mean,
Yak it up.
most coaches do like a similar approach, right? The aloe vera filet juice, the apple cider vinegar, right? Some glutamine, maybe some other things like inositol, right? It doesn't taste bad at all. Lemon juice.
No, I think when you mix the vinegar with anything that's like, because some people will do like the greens powder or whatever. I don't necessarily recommend those, but like when you do them together, the sweetness to the apple cider vinegar together actually makes kind of like a nice taste, in my opinion. But remember, the more you drink that apple cider vinegar, the more it could wreak havoc on your teeth enamel. That's why I usually tell people to take it back as a shot and just get it down.
Yep.
I see it when I make my mixture, it's like this much. There's like nothing in there. It's like 2 ounces of
Yeah.
all of the above, you know.
See, that to me would just be basically the same thing as doing it. Well, I guess it's not, but yeah, whatever. I'm with you on that one. What does apple cider vinegar do for your body?
Gastric acid.
Raises your testosterone to at least 100%.
Yeah, increase your metabolism by 6,000%.
It brings up gastric
Helps you burn
acid
body fat while you sleep.
production.
Gastric acid production would be a main thing, but it could also help with like the bacterial environment in the gut. Like it works as an antibacterial to at least a small extent. It can help with blood glucose management. It's actually really, really good GDA. If you take apple cider vinegar prior to meals and you test your blood sugar, you'll see a significant difference than if you had that meal and not done the apple cider vinegar, as it delays gastric emptying. So it can act as a GDA or glucose disposal agent in that sense. But yeah, I'm probably missing one or two things too, but it's
I really
pretty
want to put
efficient
my feet up
at
on my
gastric acid
desk,
production.
but I don't want to be disgusting. My knees hurt. All right,
Okay,
another.
welcome to the club, Marina.
Yeah, I was gonna
They
say.
do. They're like bent all day.
No
You have another
problem.
question?
I'm all out of questions, so it's on you and Steve.
I got one more. It's a pretty vague question, but it's peak week feels.
Wait, that's peak week feels?
Mhm.
How do we quantify that into a question? Like
Peak week
do we-
feels?
what's that mean?
You know, like mentally, how do you feel during peak week?
You should feel good.
Like shit. Do you?
You know, I feel like
I feel good.
fucking-
I'm like,
like
finally,
honest peak week.
finally.
Yeah, I'm about to fucking upset.
I feel
some
good
people. I
during
feel
peak
fucking
week.
awesome during
Then
peak
you
week.
know some food is coming. You're not training as hard. You're like, okay, finally, I can just have some fun. It's fun. I think it's fun.
Yeah, I think for me, this is where my anxiety kicks in.
No
like,
leg
peak week
days?
for me
Oh,
is,
so
like,
good.
Literally, like, you know, when you were a kid and it was like the last week of school and you're going on vacation, there's that low level of anxiety where you can't sleep at night because you're thinking about what's coming up. That's exactly what peak week is for me. And it's just like I'm fucking like shot the entire week. Diarrhea 24/7.
Oh my
Fucking
God.
can't sleep. Oh yeah,
Don't
tons
do
of
that to
diarrhea.
yourself,
Tons of
dude.
diarrhea.
That's so bad.
Yeah, it's awful.
It
It's
sounds
awful.
horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awful.
I love peak week.
I like peak week.
Oh, Steven?
No, I mean, I'm indifferent. I never kind of paid attention. To me, be honest, like anytime it was just another day of closer to doing the job. You know what I mean? That was just like I didn't have like a different feel being 4 days out versus 4 weeks out or anything. It was just like I feel like if your focus is truly there, you know what I mean? Like it's just another day of doing what you have to do to win on that Saturday or whenever this. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I just
He's just the Terminator.
I don't, Steve. I don't actually. I have no idea what you mean.
I just
no
I'm trying to
clue.
look. I'm trying to think back 3 years ago, and like I just don't. I just don't like recall ever feeling different for any show like a few days out or not. Like sure, a little more excited and stuff like about to get on stage and all that, but like I've never cared about food like that in prep. And I'm being dead honest. I've never watched food shows. I've never looked at food on fucking social media. I've never posted like I've never ordered cookies and all this shit. I've never done any of that. Like I just never felt any different. Like it's just remained always. Also, too, my dad played a huge role in that, right? Like just being completely transparent. Like
His dad would just beat the shit out of him whenever he showed any emotion.
yeah.
Growing up. Your Christmas is tomorrow. Shut the fuck up.
Fuck up.
Yeah, you know, like but prep though, it's literally like I don't know. I can't recall feeling any different. Just maybe more excitement, but I don't know.
You got to prep again to remind yourself.
Yeah,
You should jump into Big Town with all your clients. There you go.
There you go. Plenty of time.
yeah.
Dude, you could get in shape in like 6 weeks. You'll be fine.
I have
All right.
one. I have
Oh,
one.
All you gotta do is cut out the cheesesteaks and you'll be ripped.
I have won a couple overalls on an 8-week prep, so
See, point taken.
8 to 10.
No big
months.
deal. No big deal.
But Matt said it, not me. Thanks, Ant. Hope you're doing well, dude.
All right, what other questions you
question?
guys got?
Oh, Tim,
I'm out.
another man brings my beard up, and it's just like let's just rush through that comment, right?
Exactly. I'm fucking feeling insecure.
Thank you, Ant. I appreciate it, and I hope you're doing well, man. So me and Matt were actually talking about this earlier. Opinion on what Matt Jensen posted about dieting. So I didn't know
What did
what
he post?
So I didn't know what they were talking about, so I went to go watch it. So he posted a pretty good, like, was it a real Matt or just like a little
Yeah.
clip? Saying how essentially, right, Matt, people are like too focused on dieting and staying too lean all year for the like the focus of content. Was that it, Matt? Right?
Something along the lines of that, yeah.
And that they don't understand the metabolic damage they're doing by staying so lean all year, right?
Yeah, yeah, that was it. Yep.
And I thought it was a really good point, right? Because like I think his message was to like what do we call it? Like influencers, I guess, or like people that are strictly bodybuilding and training and dieting for content related purposes, like the pictures to get 100,000 likes and all that. And he was saying they
Yeah,
don't
but isn't
realize
that men's physique and a lot of bikini competitors?
No, I don't think it was geared towards that because that's kind of a different animal, right?
yeah,
I didn't hear it at all, but if he's talking bodybuilding, I don't think he's talking about influencers at all. And I don't know if Matt is the guy that's probably going to be commenting too much on influencers. But again, I didn't see the content at all. But I would say that this has been a problem that we've seen pop up here recently, specifically in the men's physique category. And we've seen it with women over and over and over again in the bikini category. So regardless of, I think it's applicable either way.
Well, to play devil's advocate on like the bikini piece at least, right? I don't know as much about men's physique because frankly I don't follow it at all. Like if you look at the chicks in the top 15 at the Olympia in the bikini, like, those chicks are staying within like 10, 15 pounds of stage weight if they're
Yeah.
smart, because they're all so fucking good and have so minimal amount of flaws that their struggle is more so keeping their good body parts down so that they don't outgrow the class, right? So like that's to me the only place that it really makes sense for these chicks to stay within a few, weeks of hitting a show, right? But the rest of the categories,
Okay,
no.
the problem with that, though, is exactly what you guys alluded to that he was bringing up, where it's like this 10 to 15 pounds allow that particular female to not create these maladaptations that are ultimately going to hinder your metabolic function and or health as it relates to getting back into another prep and having a successful prep. That's why those top 10 to 15 girls that you're alluding to, I would be willing to bet my fucking a month paycheck on the fact that they're probably on, permanent thyroid replacement medication. They're probably on, TRT, you know what I mean? And those are things obviously that a lot of us are willing to accept once they get to that point, regardless. But again, the fact of the matter is the reason why they're able to do that is because they have that support system, right? They're not relying on their own thyroid function anymore. They're not relying on their own sex hormone production anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that kind of comes to the territory though.
Right. But again, that's what if we're talking about, because again, if he's talking about specifically metabolic function and metabolic damage, right? Like that's where we're going with that. You know what I mean? Where it's like if you're staying within 10 to 15 pounds of your stage weight and that's not acceptable per your body's individual needs, you are going to end up with those adaptations, which ultimately just makes it harder to diet next time.
See, I don't know. I get what you're saying, but I think that plenty of women can stay within 15 to 20 pounds of the stage weight without causing metabolic damage. Like if you look at a coach like somebody like Mark Tomanek, for instance, guy's fucking awesome, dude. And
Yeah.
I know a lot of his athletes stay within striking distance of a show and they're fucking eating, dude.
All right.
Like they're eating a lot of food.
You want me to?
Oh,
you want
yeah,
me
for
to
sure.
read
You could, if you're
essentially-
eating a lot of food, that's one thing. What are you saying,
Yeah,
Steve?
yeah. Well, that's the only time that really makes sense from my perspective, right? I mean, if you're just in a constant deficit, then that's stupid.
Yeah. So he said.
Well, is it
he
that
said-
what, is it what, go ahead.
He's
he
reeling
said-
us back in.
No. I'm just trying to read his Matt Jensen's text here so Tim can understand what he was saying. So he said there's nothing wrong with staying lean, but it's the environment of which it costs you to stay lean that matters the most. So he said
Exactly,
if your
yeah.
ability
For
to
the
stay
deficit.
lean is so dependent on always being in a deficit, always being in a diet, always restricting yourself, then that's going to drive your metabolic rate down and that's going to drive high thyroid hormone down. So what Matt was saying,
Exactly.
right? Like you're completely correct. Like if you're a lean Matt because you're eating 900 carbs a day, it's way fucking different than I guess what Jensen was saying, where people
You're
are just
trying to stay within 10
Yes.
to 15 pounds of stage weight, to stay within 10 to 15 pounds, and you're doing things and augmenting your environment to create that 10 to 15 pounds away from stage weight because we think it's going to be advantageous to the next contest prep. And then when you get into prep, right now you're in a position where you haven't grown for shit, right? You haven't put on, you haven't, put yourself in a position to have a positive offseason at all. And then you're starting your prep, in a more essentially like fucking, you're entering a NASCAR race with 3 tires. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to win the race. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's excellent. You're not bodybuilding at that point. And Tim, I think you were alluding to it before. It's become such a problem in bodybuilding across probably all categories because of social media. Like everybody wants to stay lean for their fucking content and all that bullshit. And it's just prevalent.
This is my biggest pet peeve with men's physique, and the reason why I always sound so biased against men's physique. I think men's physique is, like right now you're starting to see a lot of guys come out of the woodwork that are fucking huge, right? They're big, whatever. But again, for years and years and years up to this point, we've seen such a revolving door. And I know people want to point it like, well, Jeremy Buendia was whatever he was, fucking whatever, 7-time Mr. Olympia or whatever. That's great. But again, look at that category from conception to where it's at now. The top guys overall have changed like a revolving door over and over and over again, where the top 5 guys will change literally like every 2 or 3 years. And that's because these guys try to stay within such a body or try to stay lean and good looking, post on social media, maximize their income that way. And they're always like that, but now they never grow. And now people are like, oh, well, it's just that category. People are getting bigger and bigger. Well, that motherfucker could have gotten bigger and bigger too. That was his choice to stay that lean and not keep up with the standard of the category. You know what I mean? That was his choice to play on YouTube and on Instagram and all that different stuff. And if that's what he wants to do, by all means, go for it. It's probably a more lucrative career. But to Matt's point, it's not bodybuilding. So now you're in a position where 10 years later, the entire division has passed you by. You know what I mean? You don't see that shit happen in bodybuilding because everybody's so obsessed with building their fucking body. You know what I mean? I think bikini's a little bit different because of the criteria and what kind of you can maximize versus what's going too far. But I think we've also seen it in bikini where we've seen some of those top level competitors kind of come and go or fall off the mat for a little while and then come back a few years later. And all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, I had to step away for a little bit for this reason or this reason. And it's because they were staying too lean. Ashley Coldwater's a big, person for this where, she said she was Miss Olympia. What was it? 4 years in a row, Marina?
3.
3 years in a row, and then she fell off the face of the earth, and everybody's like, where the fuck is she at? She had all types of health issues from doing too many shows consistently over and over and over again. And now I know she still competes like that, but again, she's on TRT, she's on thyroid replacement, she's with a coach that feeds her well enough to be able to do it on a consistent, regular basis now. You know what I mean? So it's like she's somebody that can kind of represent that on both ends of the spectrum there. But again, it's to me, that's my biggest pet peeve within this whole concept. And we were talking about identifying as a bodybuilder earlier for people. It's like, dude, bodybuilding is not having a 6-pack year round. It's just not. It's that's not what we're doing here.
If social media disappeared, what percentage of bodybuilders would stop bodybuilding? Do you think?
80%.
I think
80,
like
oh.
70.
Oh,
Yeah, I think like 70.
really?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
Really? Wow.
I think 70.
Think about it.
Dude.
What was it before? Think about it. What was it before social media, dude? Before the first show I ever went to, again, I tell people all the time, like there was just fucking bodybuilding and figure had just come out, right? And it was literally in this fucking, obviously they're all in shitty little high schools, right? But it was in this, it seemed like compared to now, the most dialed down, like, fucking $20 to get in. Like there was like, it was such a minuscule production. You know what I mean? That it was like, it's stark difference from then to now. And again, it's really been that advent of social media exploding, these new classes coming about, and just the fitness industry exploding around social media. It's been a big difference maker, man, the social media aspect of it. But my one thing that I used to say to clients all the time was like, I think the difference between like, for me, right, the idea was always like, I love doing this shit, period. Like it gives me purpose, it gives me organization, it gives me structure. Like I like it, we were talking about before, because you get to see a result based on the work that you're putting in. And that, again, it's a direct reflection of the effort that you're putting in. So like for me, it's almost like somebody came to me and said today, after building something like that, you can keep going to the gym, but you'll never, ever, ever gain another pound of muscle or lose another pound of fat. I'm still going to go to the gym tomorrow because I enjoy it. I'm still going to do the same things that I do on a day because I don't know any other fucking way to go about eating food. You know what I mean? Like it's legitimately just ingrained in you at a certain point.
Absolutely. Yeah, I do
You
think.
think
Go ahead, man. Sorry.
No, you go.
I was gonna say I do though think that like 70 to 80% would just be gone. 100%.
Do you think a lot of the pro competitors would drop out?
I think it'd still be high, but I think it'd probably
I
be
do
like
too.
I think it'd still be like 60,
Especially
70%.
I think men's open would remain relatively untouched because those motherfuckers are just such freaks.
Men's physique and classic though, would definitely.
Dude, to be
Mhm.
fucking, I'd be like top 5 of the Olympia next year, dude. I'd have like no competitors.
Think about how would those guys make money? They're not making them
I
from show
mean, you
business.
get a real job and do like what I do, you know.
That's
Yeah.
exactly
God,
what
don't
they'd have
say
to do.
that, Matt. Matt, don't do it. That's God forbid.
God forbid.
And I'll clarify. I'm not saying the guys that like make their money off bodybuilding isn't a real job. Like, but if that went away, get another job.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not wrong. It's just, but you can't say that, dude.
Or a
God-
muscle tech contract.
I
All right.
do
Any
think one
more?
of-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say too, you see like a lot of these 20, 21-year-olds, right? And they're like big on YouTube, right? They make money, but I think I don't know this for sure. I'm just speculating. Is hopefully there's somebody there to tell them, like, hey, listen, you need a backup plan, right? It doesn't have to be in college, but like something going on, become an entrepreneur, right? Because like, sure, you're your own entrepreneur at 21 doing that, but you're going to become 24, 25, 26, right? That the age doesn't slow down. And the next 18, 19, 20-year-olds going to come in and you're just washed away like in the ocean, So like, hopefully there's just somebody there that's like guiding them. Like, sure, you're making a ton of money, but it's like, they can't be saving a ton because all these fucking kids now, they have 4 fucking cars and they're not Honda Civics. They're Audis, fucking BMWs. Like they're all $80,000-$90,000 cars, right?
And what do you do when YouTube demonetizes you for something? Like, you're
Exactly.
fucked.
Right.
Think half of those people that get into YouTube are doing it for money. You know what I mean? I really don't. I think that's something that they'll tell you. I think that that's a side effect of what they do. I think they're there specifically to get the likes, specifically to stroke the ego. And again, they would never admit that, but specifically because they want the attention. You know what I mean? And that's really because at the end of the day, you can make fucking if our Instagram has less than 6,000 fucking followers. You know what I mean? And if I can make 6+ figures, if Marita's going to get close to making 6+ figures, if Riley's right behind her, like at the end of the day, the bottom line is like you don't need to have a million
No,
followers
I
on
agree.
YouTube to be able to make money to do it. You know what I mean? So if you're going to that extent, I'm sure money is a byproduct of that,
Right.
and definitely something those people are aspiring to at least some extent. But I think the large majority of the motivation there is for the attention.
Yeah.
I agree.
But it's like, what do you do when that attention's gone? Like you're fucked. Like you're just
You
left
do
in
when
like a
you're old and
depressive,
ugly.
pit, like I think social media is also too like such a huge factor for a lot of like the mental health issues that go on nowadays. That's just my opinion. But like look how many people just waste so much precious time every day just aimlessly scrolling and always thinking the grass is always greener. You know what I mean? Like I've never
People need
seen
more meaning in life. Like
Yeah.
there is nothing that could possibly happen on social media to me. I don't care if every single one of my followers said they fucking hated me and wished I would die. I would just set my phone down, look at my 2 kids and my beautiful wife, and be like, pretty happy today. Like
Yeah.
I understand how it could help people, but people need to strive for more meaning in life than social media.
too, when I really like it, I really noticed it was when Chris Bumstead and his wife announced that they were having a baby. The amount of people that were obsessed with that was actually like kind of sick.
So weird.
Like I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Like these are other people. Like why are you like Tim? If you told me I'm not a kid or Matt, like sure, you guys are good friends of mine. Like I'm excited for that, right? But like, you guys don't fucking know these people. You watch
Yeah,
this dude
I do
win
find that shit to
bodybuilding
be
shows
really weird
and
in
watch his
general.
YouTube videos. You're essentially paying that kid's education, college education in one YouTube video. Yet these people are so fucking obsessed. Also, too, like the amount of women that I see reshare him and his wife's like fucking kissing photos. I'm like, you do know that they argue just like everybody the fuck else behind closed doors. They could be the most miserable couple together. You just don't know because you think that one fucking photo every week that they post is like
Yeah.
everything.
That's
It
the
is
one thing
weird.
that still strikes me. It still strikes me as odd, honestly. It really does. Like there are people that genuinely believe that what they're seeing, and so they're like, no, this person's real. This person's real. Like this is a real, like, and it's like, what the fuck have you learned in the last like 3, 4, 5, whatever, however many years? Nothing is real on Instagram.
Mhm.
Nothing is real on social media. Nothing. None of it is real. None of it is even close to remotely real. And
Yeah,
it's
and
like
then
I've had
people-
conversation with people that are close to me recently, and they're like, "You really think that she's got like a fake butt?" It's like, dude, what the fuck are you talking? Of course, she fucking got plastic surgery here. Those are fake tits. That's a fucking fake ass. This is fake. That's fake. What are you talking about? Why would you even think it's not at
Matt
this
has
point?
Matt has a fake ass.
No, Photoshop. What were you gonna say?
That's
Maria?
out of the bag.
No, I was gonna say like with the
Sorry, Matt.
relationship thing, like people posting Sebum and Courtney, like, oh, just
That's
I wanna
ridiculous.
be a gym couple like them. Like you like that's so weird to me. Like you're fucking weird for that. You're
Yeah, so
weird.
weird.
Not only
Like
that,
why
like, do they know that like 90% of gym couples end because of fucking cheating and tread abuse?
yeah,
I mean,
like
let's
it's
be
just
real here.
I,
You know
I
what
was
mean?
gonna
It's
say
just
that
the weirdest
it's
shit.
domestic violence and,
Yeah.
The trend turns you gay, and
the trend turns you gay.
you know that's a thing, right?
I don't know. It's just
Well,
weird.
I
I just
didn't
think
even catch that
in
first.
general,
The trend turns you gay.
praising people online is weird to me. Very weird. Like
Like-
they're online for a fucking reason.
I get if you're close, like I said again, like shit like that, like that's different. But like not 15 million people resharing them having a kid is they're not all don't fucking know him. And like they're just so obsessed with somebody else. I'm like, you do realize you're taking time out of your own day to be successful to literally like reshare these people. You have no idea, like behind
Yeah.
closed doors, that dude's probably fucking throwing her through the wall or fucking helping her, like you're fucking annoying, and they're probably arguing. You have
Literally.
no idea. You know what I
Literally.
mean? So it's just like,
And then someone like Courtney, this is just something that I see on
oh, that's her
Instagram. Is
name,
like
Courtney.
she will post every literal like every 2 months. In these pictures, I was dying inside, but I'm better now. I was in these pictures, it was a fake smile. Like she'll post those like, attention seeking things where it's like, oh, 2 months ago I was really struggling, but like I'm good now. Like, what is going on? Like it's just like live for everyone to fucking see. It's like I don't know, very fake shit. But that's why it is so hard for me to look up to any of these girls on social media. Like I think it was Sam that asked me a question last week, like what bikini girls do you look up to? Like straight up, I don't fucking know. I do not know because I don't know any of these girls personally. I know that half of them post fake shit. Every few months they're crying. The next month it's like I'm so much, but I'm working on myself. The next month it's like fucking I don't know something else with the boyfriend and this and that. Like I don't look up to anyone really these days online. I just don't.
That's why if all these people started bowling, they'd be much happier. But no one fucking
Dude, like
listens.
Marina, you
Not
hit the
bowling.
nail on the head with like, it's not just the women too. There's plenty of guys.
Oh,
that
it's
do
Oh,
the
that.
guys
guys
are
too.
fucking crazy.
I,
Guys are
I was
crazy
a
too.
drug addict. I was homeless, and now look at me. I got a
Like,
fucking
why are you
Audi
writing this on
R8,
social media? Get a
like,
fucking
dude,
therapist. What's going
because to
on?
Tim's point, they just want the fucking likes, dude. Like
Yep.
it's insane. It's like pathetic.
These people need therapists. All of them need
Yeah.
fucking therapists. That's why I don't look up to any of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think I follow like 4,500 people. I checked the other week. I think I have like 4,200 people muted.
Oh my god, my blocked list and muted list is
No, I don't. I mean, I'm not a dick like that. I don't need it. It's just I realized that my anxiety also got better
Called you a dick.
like a year ago.
I mean, I
When-
am.
The good quality.
when you don't have it to see, you can't. You know what I mean? So it's just like aimlessly scrolling. You're sitting on the toilet and you're aimlessly scrolling through people's shit that like, for lack of better words, like they're not like involved in your life, So it's like it just wastes so
I
much
find
time.
myself scrolling a lot more. And Marina knows this. I find myself scrolling a lot more on my Facebook than I do my Instagram. Instagram to me is that thing where it's like my Instagram is obviously business related, so it's all like fitness, this and all that different shit. Whereas my Facebook, like the algorithm or whatever, from what I look at,
Yep.
you know what I mean, is all like comics,
Baseball.
like food, baseball,
The Yankees.
like fucking. Yeah, like shit that
Don't
I
get them
actually
started.
enjoy. That
They're
like
5-0.
it's legitimately just straight up entertainment. 5-0, baby. 5-0. We got a game
Wait,
tonight.
didn't the
Juan
Mets-
Soto is my fucking idol.
The Mets
I'm
lost their
fucking-
first game,
the
right?
Yankee season couldn't be going any shut up, Marina. I'm talking about the Yankees. The
Oh
Yankees
my
couldn't
God.
be going any better right now. It's fucking insane, baby. It is
Let's go
insane.
Mets.
We're gonna sit
Let's go Mets.
2-0.
Let's go
The Mets
Mets.
Yeah,
suck. The Mets
come
are
on.
obviously one of the worst teams in baseball right now.
The
I
Phillies
just-
aren't going to do good either.
Let's go
The
Mets.
Phillies are gonna do good. What are you talking about? They're like a top fucking 5 team in baseball.
I don't think so. It's Philly, dude.
All
I love the
right.
Philadelphia Phillies. Just over the last 2 years. All right. Any other questions?
Any other questions? All right, let me get off of here.
Yeah, my earbuds are gonna die, so I gotta go too.
Thank you everyone for listening. We'll catch you guys next week and let's go Mets.